MPhil, MA Economics, and BCom University in the recognition of his significant contribution to teaching, research, and corporate life of the university. Professor Mittal has been conferred with the Best Teacher Award in 2002 by the Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, today's discussion and today's, the purpose of having today's session is to talk about the role of intellectual property in innovation management. I do understand that today's session involves a lot of, the participants are from the academia and also student participants, and the industry is trying to moderate and give its inputs through by the participation of experts into the field of this intellectual property. So at this stage, if we were to welcome, I would like to welcome Professor R.K. Mittal to give his keynote address, please. Professor R.K. Mittal. Professor R.K. Mittal, am I audible to you?
Sir, this is Ritesh Gupta from Chaudhary Bansilal University. I'm the consultant and taking care of the innovation center over here. Now, okay. the aspect of intellectual property rights is directly or indirectly under my purview, where I coach students to become entrepreneurs, and in the same direction, there are a lot number of students. Now, sir has joined us. Sir has joined us.
Hello. Sorry, I missed the last part of it. Sorry. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I missed the last part of it. Is Professor Mittal joining us?
Yeah,
he has already joined, sir.
He has already joined.
So please, can we request him?
Yes, sir.
Can we request him to give his keynote address?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Another couple of minutes. He's just joined. I will just ask him. Yeah.
Oh.
VC, sir. Professor R.K. Mittal, sir.
Mittal, sir, we request you to kindly on your video. Welcome, sir. Good morning.
Hello.
Mittal, sir, can you hear us?
Yes.
Your screen is freezed.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And we would like to start today's session. May I please request you to give your keynote address so that we could start with the rest of the session, please.
So thank you so much. I, on behalf of Chaudhary Bansilal University, welcome here. Yes, very important webinar on intellectual property rights. And in fact, I got a camp there for maybe little and
Oh, we are unable to hear you. Mittal, sir, we are unable to hear you.
Hello.
Yes, Professor Mittal. Yes, we can hear you now. We couldn't hear you earlier. So please, could you proceed?
Hello.
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 Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
Okay, can I speak?
Yes, sir. Yes, please go ahead.
Some audio problem is there, so please ignore it. I'm finding it difficult, but I'm speaking.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I once again welcome all the dignitaries and the resource persons who are here in this very important interactive webinar on role of intellectual property rights. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, we are living in a very competitive world where innovation matters, and all those countries where innovation, creativity, entrepreneurship, they have been promoted, they are advancing at a much, much faster rate. And so therefore, to provide incentive for innovation, we need to protect their rights, what they have invented. They must get the benefit of the efforts they have put in, because it involves a lot of money, effort, and therefore intellectual property rights are provided. And today we have under WTO 1995, when we implemented this intellectual property rights in different forms, patents, trademark, copyrights, even geographical indication, and other, you can say, secret informations which we have been inventing, which company have a right. As far as India is concerned, we most of the time we had the culture of sharing the information, and we never give any importance to intellectual property rights as such, the way now internationally it is given. And countries like America and other countries, developed countries, they are earning a huge from the royalty and innovations. The big companies, they are putting their money into this process. But over time, since we are also living in a competitive world, and our intellectual bent of mind is not in any way inferior to anyone. We have been inventing, companies are doing good these days. So therefore, we need to create an environment where people understand the importance of IPR laws. Awareness, sensitization is the need of the hour. If you look at the data, the countries like China, they have been advancing at a faster rate. They have been going for patents and other things. But in India, still it is very, very low, because we have been spending very less on R&D. And R&D, whatever is happening, mostly it is in the government labs and few of the best academic institutions. We need to spread it in a way, sensitize the faculty and the other researchers. We need to have some sort of collaboration between academic institutions and the research institutions, so that the culture of research is, you can say, inculcated. And I am of the firm view that the Honorable Prime Minister has given the call for Atmanirbhar Bharat, whereby we need the universities and other institutions, they need to be closely linked to the local issues, problems, and try to give their solutions. And in this process, huge opportunities are today available to scientists and other management experts at the local level as well. We need to, therefore, this concept of intellectual property right must clearly be a part of the, you can say, the academic curriculum of the universities. At our university, we have been from time to time organizing such type of seminar, webinars, through which we have been emphasizing the people, the faculty, the need of the importance of this topic. But still, I would feel that it is at a nascent stage in India. Hardly 40,000 patents in a year we file, whereas China's more than 6 lakhs patents they file. So if we have to be a part of the global supply chain and get benefit of the interlinkages which is taking place at the world level, we need to focus on creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship, because this is the only way we will be able to solve the problem and meaningfully play a important role in world trade. And we are targeting $10 trillion economy in the time to come. That can only be possible if innovation, design, and creativity, all these things are taken to the next level in a big way. Still, I think filing patent is for a common faculty also even, it is a difficult thing. So therefore, this type of workshop will help the process in understanding the process, simplifying it, and helping the faculty and others to understand the need of the hour. And we will continue through this incubation center of Chaudhary Bansilal University. Dr. Ritesh is taking care of this center. And we will continue to have capacity building programs under this. So today we have the eminent persons, Mr. Sanjeev Chawla ji, Director, MSME, Ministry of this Government of India. Then Shri Ajay Mahajan ji, Ma'am Geeta Gulati ji, Dr. Shweta Sen Talwar ji, and many other people from the the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So I again welcome you and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my few observations on the matter. But I understand the need of this subject, and we would like to take it further and would like to create a sort of capacity building program on this very issue. And in fact, we are going to have one open elective paper on intellectual property rights, so that the student also understand the importance of this topic. So thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Mittal. Just like Professor Mittal said, that it is very important that we need to have creativity, we need to have innovation, and we need to take this creativity and innovation to the next level. But we can only take it to the next level if we protect our rights towards that creativity and our innovation. If you can make some benefit, some commercial benefit out of that innovation, only then you and the nation can benefit as a whole. And for that, how you can protect it? You can protect it through the IPR, the intellectual property rights that would be bestowed upon you because of the creativity and the innovation that you have done. So that could be patents, copyrights, trademarks. And a part of our session today would be, and we've got experts today who would walk you through these different intellectual property rights. We've got Geeta Gulati ji, a very eminent person, and we've also got Shweta Sen ji. But at this stage, before I come to them, I would like to welcome Mr. Sanjeev Chawla ji. He's Director, MSME at Karnal. May I please request Mr. Sanjeev Chawla to come on. But let me say a few words about Dr. Sanjeev Chawla first. He's working as a director in the Office of Development Commissioner, MSME, Ministry of MSME, Government of India. He's also the director in charge of MSME Development Institute, Karnal. He's a mechanical engineer with an MBA from IMT Ghaziabad. He possesses 27 plus years in MSME development, cluster management, and MSMEs. May I please call upon Mr. Sanjeev Chawla to give his address, please?
Thank you, Ajay Mahajan ji, for your very kind words and very, elaborate introduction. So, here I will first welcome Mr. Professor R.K. Mittal also. His views on innovation promotion and the difficulties in, filing application for IPR and then getting the IPR. The time it takes, 3 years, 4 years. This is really a very, very long time. So he has very well articulated on the constraints which we are facing. But here I'll also thank PhD Chambers and as well as Chaudhary Bansilal University for organizing this program for students. Because, students will be the harbinger of this initiative. And I'm very well of the opinion that IPR should be taken as a business strategy. If I shouldn't consider it as an incidental kind of thing. And this is very, very important in case of pharmaceutical industries, in case of, defense production. So where the value additions are very high, and the time and energy it takes to reach a particular level is very long and very energy intensive. So we have to take into consideration the IPR aspects right from the beginning. So we will be learning more about, patents, IPR, GI registrations, trademarks, and all that. But I have been given this duty to, tell the audience about the government support for IPR promotion. Government support for IPR promotion is not from one department. Apart from MSME, DPIT department, that which is under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, is also providing support. So I will mention here that we have been conducting various awareness programs for IPR, various IPR issues right from 1999, I would say. Our first Minister, Vasundhara Raje ji, she took a lot of initiatives, and we organized various IPR awareness programs across the country. So this is the one activity wherein we tell the industry, the entrepreneur, the students, what is the importance of various IPR tools, let it be design patents or GI registration or trademarks or copyrights, or how we can register, where we have to go, and what is the procedure for international registrations. So by IPR protection, this is a protection of our intellectual property. Just like tangible assets, we are protecting our intangible assets. So we can protect these assets not only in India, but abroad also. So we tell the audience how to go about registration of various IPR tools, not only in India, but across the countries as well. So for promoting the entrepreneurs, so we provide support of, for design patent, we provide a support of 1 lakh rupees. For foreign patents, we provide a support of 5 lakh rupees. For GI registration, there is a provision of 2 lakh rupees. And for trademarks, we provide a financial assistance of 10,000 rupees. So here in Haryana, we had been mostly getting requests for trademarks. So we had very few cases for domestic patents or GI registration. GI registration, government of UP has adopted GI registration as an important tool for exports even. So if our basmati rice, if our haldi, if our other products, Bikaner namkeen or something, these are registered as geographical indication, it gives us recognition not only in India but abroad also, and we are able to get some benefit in exports as well. Apart from these benefits to the entrepreneur, we have some scheme component for institutions also, like in IP facilitation center for MSME can be set up, wherein the organizer of this facilitation center will provide assistance to MSMEs and other entrepreneurs in filing the registration and in getting the registration. So Government of India provides a grant of 1 crore rupees for such kind of projects. So we have supported 2 such IP centers, Panchkula, and one is within our office campus at MSME Development Institute, Karnal. So these are the scheme components for promotion of IPR components, maybe GI registration or trademark or patents. Apart from this, there is a support from DPIT also for startups. Startup has a definition, and if the unit qualifies on that startup definition of DPIT, then the unit can get benefit of financial support from DPIT as well. Apart from this, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has also some programs for supporting IPR awareness workshops and international patent protection as well. Apart from these central government organizations, state governments also provide support for such kind of initiatives. So financial support by reimbursement of 100% of our actual expenses are available in state of Haryana up to a limit of rupees 25 lakh. So more details can be had from our office, which is at Karnal, or the state government office, which is at Panchkula, or more details you can have from your local district industry centers also. I would suggest the students to be in touch with our office at Karnal, so which can be accessed through the website. And I'll also request chambers to become a bridge between the students and the entrepreneurship and our office, so that we can transfer the benefit of various schemes to the entrepreneurs and the students. So apart from this activity, we have so many other programs as well for promotion of MSMEs in the state. So now with the increase in the limit of registration for MSMEs, now more and more units have come in the fold of MSME, and more units can take benefit. So our now definition has been revised upwards, and we have so many schemes of lean manufacturing and zero effect, zero defect, cluster development. Apart from these, we have some training programs. Our organization has tool rooms which provide job-oriented skill development programs as well. So I would envisage that MSME units and as well as the students remain in touch with our institution. So with these words, I thank the organizers of this program and wish the students all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sanjeevji. For the benefit of the students, I'll just pick up on one thing that Sanjeevji just said, that IPR registration has to be a commercial decision and not an incidental decision. Wherein, just to, Sanjeevji, this is a very important line, which in a way puts together the entire gist of IPR. So the point here stated is that IPR, the end purpose of IPR is that you need to have some kind of a commercial benefit from it. And the IPR registration should not just be for the sake of getting a patent if you cannot commercially exploit it. If you can get, and there's also something called gestation, wherein you could have an IPR and use it at a later stage, but the use of IPR should be there and there should be a commercial use. Only then there'll be a benefit to you and to the nation. At this stage, I would like to welcome Ms. Geeta Gulati ji. Geeta Gulati ji is an advocate and trademarks and patents attorney, and has a vast experience both in domestic and international arbitration. May I please request Ms. Geeta Gulati ji to give her presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, PhD. Thank you, Ramneet, for inviting me to this session. So, students, since we are not in interactive sessions, we have a limitation. I'll try to make it very interesting for you. Now, first thing that I want to share with you is, rather, I will like to give you this thought. Why is it we are discussing intellectual property on Friday morning instead of discussing some other subject? Now, this is the first reason that why we want to discuss, as Ajay Mahajan sir said, and previous speakers, Dr. Gupta and Chawla sir spoke, that how your intellectual property is important for your business and why it's so necessary for you to commercialize it. Now, the other thing is that why do we need intellectual property in the first place? If you look around the products or the services that you're using, you would see that every product and every service, there is an innovation. Now, before we entered into pandemic, we were using Zomato, Swiggy. But today, what has happened is, since restaurants are not functioning, we have cloud kitchens. So this is the biggest innovation in hospitality industry. You look at your mobiles, you look at your televisions, you look at your vehicles, you look towards any product, any services, and you will see that everything is become, there's something new in that. Before you started using AirPods, you were using earplugs which had wire. Today everything is wireless. So this is the key. This is the key that if you need to progress, there has to be innovation. So this is the reason why that we are discussing intellectual property, because as we humans progress, our products and services are going to will get innovated. Now, as Mahajan sir very smartly has put that unless you commercialize your product, it's not going to help you and it's not going to help public at large. Now, why we need to protect intellectual property? If you have not protected your intellectual property and you're using it for your commercial gain, your threat would be from within your organization, where your co-partners, your employees can steal your intellectual property and they can start their own business. The threat could be outside. There are competitors who may take away your intellectual property if you have not taken care of to register your property. And the third threat is from outside India. Now, you students would be reading that China is one country who is doing cyber attacks almost every day to steal intellectual property of another countries. So how do you protect yourself from all these threats? So first step is that you need to protect your intellectual property in your country. Now, let's see what are the different types of intellectual property. So for this, I'll give you an example. Let's go into a supermarket. Now, you want to pick up, say, Kurkure. Now, how are you going to identify the product? You are identifying the product from the name of the product. So you will go to a shelf where you would see Kurkure, right? Now, if you open the packet, you are finding an edible inside the packet. Now, this edible is made of rice. Now, rice is actually a plant. All right. Now, what has somebody, what is the innovation here? Somebody thought of making a different edible product from rice, which is not the normal rice that you eat. Now, this is the innovation. Now, if you look at the packet of the product, the packet has a name and certain colors and designs, so that you can identify the product. So in one packet, you can see that there are different intellectual property. There's a name, which in legal language we call trademark. There's a product inside the packet, which could be patented because it's a novelty. The natural product is rice, and from rice somebody has made an edible. Now this edible has a design. If you look at this product Kurkure, it's not a straight line; it's twisted. So this design could be an industrial design, and the packet that you see has colors. It has design which can be registered as a copyright because it is an expression. So if you see the products that you buy in one product, you would see that there are many intellectual properties, and all these organizations, before they sell their products, before their products come to market, they make sure that the product is protected. They're protected by registering their intellectual property. All right, now let's begin. The legality involved in registration of intellectual property and what intellectual property is. Now, whatever you've heard till now, I'm sure most of you have guessed that intellectual property is something that you create, that where you're using your brain to create something new which was not known to the humanity, or you have made a improvement over already known product. As I gave you example of AirPods. You knew about earplugs. Now earplugs there's a modification. There's somebody has made a better version of earplugs and made an AirPod. So which is not, you're not using wire when you're using AirPod. So there will be always, there's going to be two types of intellectual property. One is which is completely new. Nobody knew about it. It is new for the humanity. And second would be that there is already a product or a service in the market and there is an innovation. Now the best example that I can give you is of Apple. Now Apple is one organization who improves on their product. So, whenever you're buying an Apple product, you would see that they will inform their customers that within few months they're coming up with a new iPad. They've added a new feature in that iPad. So what is that new feature? That new feature is an innovation. And that is the reason why the Apple products are so expensive. They are charging you for their innovation. So this is the beauty of innovation. And that is what Mahajan sir told you, that, commercialize it. If you're not doing it, it's of no use to anybody. That's how Apple is making their profit. That is how Microsoft is making the profit, because they are coming up with innovative products. Now, if you're using Microsoft, you know that, today you have come to Windows 10. Maybe you started with Windows 7. So every time they are innovating their products. Now look at Zoom. We are using Zoom. Before pandemic, we didn't know about Zoom. And just yesterday, I was listening to an interview of CTO of Zoom, and she said they will be bringing up new innovative products. They have their R&D team in Bangalore. So that is how these companies are going to grow. Otherwise, if there is no innovation, you can look around, you can see that so many organizations have already shut shops. Why? Because they could not innovate. Now, take another example. Footwear, which is, you use every day. All of us use footwear. Now, if you go to market, buy footwear, you would see that after some time, there is a new product. They will tell you that, we have a slipper for somebody who is suffering from arthritis. Few years back, this product was not there. So they have innovated, they have categorized it for certain humans who have problem wearing normal slippers. So with this background, I'll start with the legal thing, that what is intellectual property, the different types of intellectual property, and how you protect it. So say you are in a university and we have a new product. Aapko lagta hai, when you're doing your, you're given a project by your professors, you feel that you have come up with something which was not there before, or you have made a modification on something which was already there. So aap kya karenge? The first thing that you need to do is you need to check whether this thing is patentable or not. Now, why I'm saying this is patentable or not? Because under Indian law, there's certain things which cannot be patented. There are limitations hai. So easily you can do the research, and there's so many government organizations which will help you free of cost in doing it. And they're professionals, like my another co-panelist, Dr. Shweta is there, who does patent registration. She can help you in identifying whether this product is patentable or not. So first thing that you need to do is you do the search whether this is patentable, and then you file for patent. Now, you have to remember one thing. Once you have filed for patent, you will get it. If it is an innovative product, you will get it. But what you need to remember is that before you have filed, it should not come into public domain. Now, what I mean by public domain, that you should not write about it in a blog, or many people have not read about it. It is with you. Once it is in public domain, people know about it, the innovation goes. So the most important criteria for filing patent application is that it should be innovative. And innovative means that nobody knows about it. You file your application. Once you file your application, then you can start manufacturing that product. You don't have to wait till you get it, because that may take time. As Dr. Gupta was saying, it takes 3 to 5 years. Now, आप 3-4-5 साल wait करोगे तब तक तो innovation खत्म नहीं हो जाएगा. Maybe somebody has come up with some other product. So the best thing is that you file for your application and start manufacturing. Now, what is the process? The process is you first file. Suppose your product is not ready. You only have an idea and you feel you can develop on this idea. You go and file provisional application. You will get 1 year time to submit your complete specification. When I say complete specification, I mean that the entire process is ready with you, that how this product will be manufactured, and you inform the patent office that this is how I'm going to be manufacturing it. Now here comes the real test of how you write it, how you inform the patent office, yet you're not telling them everything. Because if you tell them everything, then the secret is gone. The secret is with the patent office. They will publish it. Everybody will come to know about it. So here comes the art of writing patent application. So people who do it regularly, they develop this art. And it is a combination of art and science. So once your application is filed, you start manufacturing. आपको मिल जाता है, so it is valid for 20 years. Now another test is whether you can manufacture it yourself, or you don't have that kind of economic resources to manufacture. तो क्या करेंगे? अगर हमारे पास पैसा नहीं है, there is no VC funding, हमारे family का भी कोई funding नहीं है, then what do we do? I don't have to worry about it. If I can't manufacture it myself, I go and find somebody who can do it for me. Maybe there is an industry who is already making such a product, who have that plant and equipment to do it. I go to them. But how do I make money out of it? I enter into an agreement with them. This is where what Mahajan sir meant, commercialization. Either you enter into a franchisee agreement with them, or you enter into a royalty agreement with them. So दोनों का terms and conditions different होता है, दोनों का fee different होता है. So you need to look at yourself that what is good for you, franchisee करें कि royalty करें. All right. Accordingly, you enter into an agreement and you can give it to another industry member who will develop it for you. Or you enter into a joint venture if you can't do it alone. If you can do it alone, wonderful. And you have to remember that your patent is only valid for 20 years. After 20 years, it will go into public domain. So this happens a lot with pharma companies. Pharma companies who are making their patentable product. So once the medicine comes into the market, the medicine is very expensive. But once 20 years are over, then any pharma company can manufacture that medicine. So अगर आप Indian companies को देखो, Indian companies are generic pharma companies, which means that उनके पास उनका कोई भी दवाई patented नहीं है, because we don't have that economic resources. So once the 20 years period is over, we can make the same medicine, and it is not illegal because law allows to manufacture after 20 years. The other thing that you need to remember is that patent is only valid for India. अगर आपने registration India में किया है, it's valid only for India. Now suppose you want to move to another country. Say you want to move to Sri Lanka, you want to move to Vietnam, which means that you will have to register your patent in that particular country. Your legal right is protected only in that country where you have registered. So the economic sense is that you should file in that country where you have active business. जहाँ active business नहीं है, there is no point filing, because there is a cost. There is a cost of filing patent, maintaining patent, but it's not very expensive because Indian government ने बहुत अच्छा कर दिया है. And today, filing has become very simple, very easy, and you get it in good time. It's वो ज़्यादा delay भी नहीं होता है. So the government is helping they're doing their part. What we need to do is we need to innovate. Now, second intellectual property after patent would be, एक बार आपने patent तो register कर दिया, your innovation is protected. Up, what is the next protection that you need to do? The next should be your trademark. क्योंकि अगर आप कोई काम शुरू कर रहे हो, पेटेंट का भी तो आपने कोई नाम रखा होगा. You must have given some name to your invention. Maybe you want to start your business with that name, so you need to protect that. As I gave you example of Kurkure. Now, Kurkure is a product which is manufactured by PepsiCo. So, what PepsiCo has done, they have registered the trademark of their product. Otherwise, how do you protect? आपको अपना name protect करना है. Either it could be a business name or it is a product which a business is developing. Now, what is the process of developing this trademark? There is a trademark registry, and it is the trademark registry is divided into 4 parts. So, if you are in North India, your office is New Delhi. You file for this trademark application, and what are the rights that you're getting? Sorry, what are the things that you can file? You can file for the name, the color, and the logo. So, say, for example, take Flipkart. Flipkart is an Indian company. So, what Flipkart has done? Flipkart has filed for the name Flipkart. They've filed for the logo, and they've also filed the way Flipkart is written. So all these things come under trademark. So once you file your application, you can start using the name of this. You can start using the name, and once you get the registration, this is valid for 10 years. And unlike patent, you can renew your trademark any number of times. जब तक आप उसको actively use कर रहे हैं, you can get it renewed any number of times. Now again, as I said, if you have economic strength to manufacture your product or to do your services yourself, wonderful. But अगर आपके पास bandwidth नहीं है तो आप क्या करोगे? आप किसी को दे देते हो कि आप कर लो. Same you can do with trademark. What you have done with patents, you can do with trademark also. You can allow other people to use your trademark with a limited right. You say that you use my trademark, you can sell the same product, but I'll remain the owner of this trademark. You are not the owner. So this thing can be done under trademark also. Now, students, if you have any question on trademark or patent, you can ask me, because that will help us in understanding how well you're capturing it. Okay. So let me quickly move to the another intellectual property. So as I gave you example of a product, this product का नाम है, जो पैकेट के अंदर है, that is presentable. Now what you see in the front, जो बाहर आप देखते हो, वो क्या चीज है? That is copyright. So copyright is basically an expression. Now you would see pandemic के time पे what has happened, almost everybody has opened a channel on YouTube. So they're making videos. So what is this thing? जो video पे हम बोल रहे हैं वो क्या चीज है? That is an expression. That is my copyright. University professors, they do a lot of research work. So what is that research work? That research work is copyright. So anything which has an expression will be a copyright. Whatever I am speaking today and whatever you will hear from my co-panelist, Shweta, that is going to be our copyright. So whatever I am speaking is my copyright, whatever Shweta speaks will be Shweta's copyright. So the movies that you watch, movie is a copyright, music में copyright होता है, the software is copyright, which means जो Zoom है जिसको हम use कर रहे हैं today, Zoom in India can get their technology copyrighted. They cannot get this patented. Zoom has an office in US. Now, this technology can be patented in US, but not in India. India will get the software copyright. Where else you will find copyright? You will find copyright in designs. जो आप design create करते हो. Let's take an example of say a chair. Before the chair is manufactured, उसका एक design बनता है. तो जो design आपने बनाया है, that is copyright. And then the product is manufactured. So what is happening once you register your copyright? What is happening here is that you become the owner of that product. You get a perpetual right to use that product. If you want to give your copyright to others, then you enter into an agreement and you say that I'm giving you limited rights to use my copyright. Copyright का जो term है, that is the lifetime of an author, which means अगर suppose कीजिए कि आपने एक research paper लिखा है, तो उसका time period क्या होगा? It is going to be valid till your lifetime, and after the death of the author, it is valid for another 50 years. तो copyright का जो term होता है वो बहुत बड़ा होता है. तो जब आप strategically business के लिए इसको use कर रहे हो, तो आपको copyright भी कराना चाहिए. That is why I gave you example of Kurkure, so that you would understand कि एक product में कितने सारे intellectual property rights आ जाते हैं. Because आपको दूसरी intellectual property का term बहुत कम मिलता है. Copyright का term आपको बहुत ज़्यादा मिलता है. And the other advantage of registering a copyright is that copyright has a criminal liability also. Like अगर आपको patent चोरी करता है या trademark आपको infringe करता है, तो उसमें civil liability होता है. Copyright के अंदर police has very wide powers to do search and seizure. Now you must have heard that police has seized some CDs. CDs को कैसे seize कर लेते हैं? CDs is again an expression for copyright है. Now what people do? Infringed copies बना लिया. What is infringement? That there is an original copy and somebody has used multiplied those copies without the permission of the owner of that copyright. So this is what is called infringement. So उसको अगर criminal में हमने डालना है, तो police has a wider power to do the search and seizure without taking permission from the court. ये copyright का सबसे बड़ा advantage है. So we always advise our clients कि आप copyright कराइए. Now जो आपका thesis है, now what happens in this university world, that if somebody has worked hard to do research, and there will be somebody who will be ready to copy something from that research to show कि ये research work मेरा है. Now what is to be done? Once you have copyrighted, आपका legal right बन गया, and then you can protect yourself that no one else can copy even the substantial part of your research, because even the substantial part will amount to infringement. So as I said, infringement is the simple words में infringement का मतलब होता है कि आपने किसी का चीज चोरी करके अपना बताया, उसको हम infringement बोलते हैं. Now as a business person, your responsibility is to protect your intellectual property, and the second responsibility is not to use someone else's intellectual property. तो आपको दोनों चीज का ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा कि आपको किसी और का भी नहीं करना है. Therefore we always emphasize कि सर्च कर लीजिए ये चीज ऑलरेडी किसी ने रजिस्टर तो नहीं किया है, and you will also come to know what is registered, और जो आपने बनाया है how different it is from already registered intellectual property. Now copyright का एक सबसे जो second advantage है, that is which I was telling you about trademark and patent, that once you register trademark and patent, it is valid only in India. But copyright के साथ ऐसा नहीं है. Copyright once you have registered, it is valid for around 140 countries. That is the major advantage of copyright, which means that say you have done research project, you have your documents ready, and you get it copyrighted in India, automatically you will get it copyrighted in other countries also. So that is the major advantage of copyright. Now, you may have this question. Suppose you come up with a compilation of certain works. This happens a lot in university कि हमने कोई research भी किया है, तो I have taken something from somewhere and I'm writing that this. So how do I protect myself from this? The first thing is whether this is copyrighted. The answer is yes, because compilation में you have used your creativity. तो सबसे पहले हमने क्या डिस्कस किया था कि what is intellectual property? Intellectual property is जो आपने अपनी creativity से बनाई है. So compilation is your creativity. You have taken 10 books, and from 10 books you have come up with a new writing. So this new writing, new compilation is your copyright. It is registered, but what you need to do is you need to give credit to that person जिसका आपने copyrighted work अपने compilation में use किया, and then you are protected. The same thing goes if you are making a video for YouTube. Say if you in that video you merging someone else's video, you can do it. उनका copyright है, no problem. Just give the credit. ये मैंने जो video लिया है मैंने कहीं और से लिया है कि इनका है. So once you have given that credit, then you are not violating anybody's copyright. Okay. And one thing I like to share, which I have not shared with you. जब हम ट्रेडमार्क्स की बात कर रहे थे, तो अभी अगर आप देखें, we are more in online world. So online world में आप क्या करते हो? You are using domain names. So everything has a domain name, like Zoom.com, Zomato is online. They have their they're using their web, they have their apps. So what are these? And there could be some organization like Nike. They have the retail shop, they have the online shop also. So maybe you may be thinking कि जो online है, how is that protected? So the domain name is also a trademark. वो उसको भी same protection मिलेगा जैसे offline मिलता है. All right. So now I think we can discuss the last intellectual property, that is industrial design. Now industrial design किसमें होता है? So industrial design would be, as the name says, some products which you can manufacture in the industry. Your watches, your remote controls, your cycle, scooters, cars, जो भी चीज इंडस्ट्री में मैन्युफैक्चर होती है, उनका एक डिजाइन, आउटर डिजाइन है जो आप देख सकते हैं. आपका एक पेंसिल है जो आप यूज कर रहे हो, इवन पेंसिल हैज अ डिजाइन, सो उसको हम इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन में रजिस्टर करते हैं. सो नाउ मे बी यू हैव दिस क्वेश्चन इन माइंड. सो कॉपीराइट क्या चीज है? अगर आप इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन को डिजाइन कहते हो, तो व्हाट इज कॉपीराइट? सो कॉपीराइट इज जो पेंसिल का डिजाइन आपने पेपर पे बनाया है, जो आपने कंप्यूटर पे बनाया है, कि दिस इज हाउ आई एम गोइंग टू मैन्युफैक्चर इन द फैक्ट्री. सो प्रोडक्शन में जाने से पहले जो डिजाइन बनाते हो आप ऑन पेपर और ऑन कंप्यूटर, दैट इज कॉपीराइटेड. आफ्टर प्रोडक्शन जो डिजाइन बन के आता है, व्हिच यू कैन सी, यू कैन फील, दैट इज इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन. दैट इज द मेजर डिफरेंस बिटवीन कॉपीराइट एंड इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आप एक साइकिल बना रहे हैं, तो साइकिल का पहले आप डिजाइन बनाएंगे. This is how I'm going to manufacture this cycle. So that design is copyrighted, but once that cycle is manufactured for the use of a consumer, that is industrial design. So that is the basic difference. And why industrial design is important? It's important because the consumer can identify from the design that how this product is different from the other. Now, if I give you two cell phones, Samsung and Apple, आपको डिजाइन देख के पता लग जाएगा कि whether this is Apple or this is Samsung. All right. If I give you AirPods, दो कंपनी का मैं आपको देती हूँ, you would tell me that this belongs to this particular company and the second is from the other company. So Therefore, designs are important so that consumer is not confused. In fact, intellectual property का जो सबसे बड़ा reason है why we are, one is that yes, it is innovation. Second is कि yes, आप commercialize करते हो, you earn profit. The other important reason of registering intellectual property is the consumer is not getting confused. Consumer knows what I'm buying. It could be either products or it could be services. Now, the first example that I gave you, that when you go into a supermarket to buy something, from the name you would identify that product. So as a consumer, you are not getting confused. So this is the reason why intellectual property gives a uniqueness to that product. The same is the services. Now, when I say services, say there's a hospital which is giving you services. Now, how do you identify a hospital? You identify a hospital from the name of the hospital. So, वो उसको एक identity देना है. So, this is what briefly what intellectual property is. I know 15-20 minutes we cannot give you the entire detail. We can only introduce you to this subject, and then it's up to you how you learn about this subject. But before I go, there is another thing that I want to discuss with you. We have been talking about intellectual property. इतना important है. अब important है तो उसको protect कैसे करना है? How do you protect intellectual property? And the other is when you are in business, okay, by mistake, if you have copied someone else's copyright, so उसकी क्या consequences? And there are two things that I like to discuss with you. Now, if somebody is using your intellectual property, जिसको हम infringement बोलते हैं, or somebody has stolen your intellectual property, what can you do? Legal protection क्या है आपके पास? The legal protection is, there are two legal protection. One is that you can register a complaint to the police, and police can help you in finding who is using your intellectual property, and then they will seize it and they can destroy the products to business. Any other person is using to make profit from that product. The other is that you claim damages from that person. That आपने मेरा intellectual property use किया और मेरे goodwill से, मेरे innovation से you have made profit. So if you have made profit, if you are able to inform the court and you are able to prove before the court, this is the profit that they have earned, court will grant damages to you. So आपको damages मिल जाएगा अगर कोई आपका नुकसान करता है, and criminal liability में क्या होगा कि वो आपका प्रोडक्ट्स को सीज करके पुलिस डिस्ट्रॉय कर देगी, सो दैट वो मार्केट में सेल नहीं कर पाए. This is how you protect your intellectual property. And the other thing is, how do you inform the world कि मैंने ये intellectual property ले लिया है? Now if you see, आप जब कुछ प्रोडक्ट बाय करते हो उसमें लिखा होता है patent granted, और patent granted का नंबर लिखा होता है, or sometimes it's mentioned patent pending. So what I am trying to tell the public, that I am the innovator of this product. I have already applied. I have either got it or it is in a process. I am in a process of getting it. How are we informing the world that my trademark is registered? आपने कई बार प्रोडक्ट्स पे देखा होगा TM लिखा होता है. TM का मतलब होता है that I have filed for my application and my application is pending for registration. And then sometimes you would see R. So सबसे बड़ा अच्छा एग्जांपल है जो कोक का बॉटल, आपके कोका कोला के ऊपर A के ऊपर R लिखा होता है in a circle. So Coca-Cola is telling you that my trademark is already registered. So general public is informed that this product is registered. Now, copyrights कैसा होता है? You go to any website, आपको वेबसाइट के नीचे लिखा होता है C, और C के अंदर एक circle, C is in a circle. So that website is informing you that this is my copyright. I have registered this copyright. And books में लिखा होता है, जब आप बुक पढ़ना शुरू करते हो, फर्स्ट पेज, सेकंड पेज, वहां लिखा होता है कॉपीराइट. So I copyright is either with the publisher or it is with the author, depending on the क्या agreement हुआ है. And industrial design में भी लिखा होता है. Now सबसे अच्छा आपको डिजाइन का मिलेगा in your kitchen. If you look at your pressure cooker, इसके नीचे लिखा होगा this is the industrial design with the number. So all these companies are informing you that this is my intellectual property and it is registered or pending registration. So again, I'll summarize before I go. First of all, first thing that you need to do is you identify your intellectual property. आपके पास कौन-कौन सा intellectual property है और उसको आप search करें whether this intellectual property is available for registration or not. Available है, आपकी invention है, register it. Don't wait before you start your business. You can register it and then you can start your business. That's the best way of doing it. And once it is registered, you need to see for how long this is valid and get it renewed within time. अगर आप इसको टाइम से renew नहीं करोगे, then the जो particular government office है वो उसको delete कर देगा from their record. That since you have not renewed it, now anybody can take it. So in a nutshell, this is what is intellectual property. I have told you how to register it and how you can legally protect it. I'll be happy to answer your questions because only then I'll come to know, because I can't see your faces, so I don't know क्या doubts हैं आपके. So I'll be happy to answer your doubts and I'll pass the baton to Shweta now.
Ma'am, I have connects with the students and yeah, might be because of certain kind of technological or interconnectivity issues, they are coming up with some kind of things. I'll keep you posted whatever the doubts are coming, and in case it's required, I can route it through Madam Rimlit Kaur also to you.
Wonderful.
It has been really nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Geeta ji. That was very insightful. Thank you for your time, and it's been very elaborative. There's one thing that I liked. Hello. Am I audible?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. There's one example that I like very much. Probably कई बार क्या होता है कि when the students get so much information, it is difficult to digest the information. But if you could just hold on to one example that Geeta ji told you, if you could work around that, you will understand the whole concept of intellectual property right. The was, let's say, the Kurkure example. So what she's told you is that Kurkure hai, uska, the name Kurkure would be a trademark. Wo tera hai, mera hai, that slogan would be a copyright. अगर कुरकुरे की एक शेप कोई डिफरेंस ही है या कुरकुरे का बॉक्स वो डिफरेंट है, उसके अंदर डिजाइन हो गया. अगर कुरकुरे का टेस्ट कुछ डिफरेंट है, जो कुरकुरे बनाया कोई सी डिफरेंट तरीके से गया है और उसका कोई एक वो है, दैट विल बी अ सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऑफ पेटेंट. और अगर कुरकुरे के अंदर कोई ऐसी चीज डाली गई है जैसे वो बीकानेर नमकीन वाली बात थी ना, सो दैट विल बी ज्योग्राफिकल इंडिकेशन. सो दैट वन पर्टिकुलर एग्जांपल इफ यू होल्ड ऑन टू योर माइंड, सारा कंसेप्ट आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा. And then there's another thing. See, in the intellectual property, the word right is the one which is to be understood most importantly. एक intellectual property है, आपने एक paper publish किया, वो आपने एक intellectual property से अपना एक paper create कर लिया है. But उसके बाद जो right है, there's a saying in Latin, ubi jus ibi remedium, which means where there is a right, there has to be a remedy. Right, अगर आपके पास कोई चीज है, उसका रेमेडी भी होनी चाहिए. यानी कि अगर आपको एक राइट दे दिया गया है, आप इसको मार्केट कर सकते हैं, आपको उसको प्रोटेक्ट करने का एक राइट भी होना चाहिए. और वो राइट जो है आपको एज सिविल रेमेडीज, यानी कि आप किसी से पैसे का क्लेम कर सकते हैं अगर आपको कोई राइट इन्फ्रिंज करता है, या क्रिमिनल रेमेडी है, या आप उसको क्रिमिनली उसके अगेंस्ट प्रोसीड कर सकते हैं, एंड द लॉ वुड टेक दैट प्रोसीजर. सो दैट इज व्हाट सेज काइंड ऑफ सम्स अप अबाउट IPR. At this stage, I would like to welcome Dr. Shweta Sen. She's the founder of Integram IP, a very intellectual lady. She's been giving lectures for a very long time onto this now, and I'm sure you would benefit from her experience on this. And the presentations, for the few presentations that I've been with her, her presentations are full of slides, and the homework that goes into it, you would really appreciate it. So I would like to welcome Dr. Shweta Sen. Dr. Shweta, can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
please carry on.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Majanji, for such nice and kind words. It's always very wonderful to listen to your inputs regarding IPR. So thank you very much. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, is this visible now? My share
Yes.
screen is visible. Yes.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Okay. So today I'll be speaking about IP management. Geeta ma'am has described IP in a very good. She have described every aspect of IP in a very good manner. So I'll be skipping types of intellectual property, patents, trademarks, copyright, industrial design, and trade secrets. Now, what is IP management? You have IP. Now, why do we need IP? So, what for the management, one must know that what type of IP you have generated. So it can be patents, it can be design, industrial design, it can be copyright, it can be trademark. But how will you come to know? If it is a product and it has some technical invention, it's a process, it's a product, it has some technical aspect attached to it, it is a patentable subject matter. If it is a product, but it has only the creative, it has some aesthetic value, ornamental value, then it is an industrial design. It can be protected by industrial design. If it is a logo, it is a word, you want to make, you want to do business with this brand name, you want to do branding with some logo, it becomes a trademark. And if you have some literature, you have a book, you have written a poem, you have written some song, you have a research paper, then it is a copyright subject matter. So first you have to decide what type of IP you have generated. I'll take this thing forward and
Ma'am, you can show a full screen.
yeah, yes, I've done it. So yes, now the second step. Now I'll take this thing forward. Why this IP is required? IP protection, IP rights. Like Mr. Majan was telling that this right word is very important. Why this protection of IP is important? Say, for example, you have written a poem, a script, a research paper, or something, and someone uses it, publishes it without your permission. Now, what is it? Is this stealing? Yes, it is stealing. Somebody has stolen your intellect, your property which you created with your intellect. So this is stealing. Now, one more example. You make a chair with some unique design. As Geeta ma'am has cited this example also for the chair. You make a chair with a unique design. You keep it in your front yard. Someone takes that chair. It's a clear-cut stealing. Your neighbor next door copies the design and makes his own chair. Is this stealing? Let's we will decide it later on. Your neighbor starts selling the chair and earns profit. Now, is this stealing? Yes. All these three cases are the stealing. Somebody has stolen your property. In the first case, it's a tangible property, which you can see. In next to it is intangible property, which you have created with your intellect. Now, if you have not protected this property, this generated with your intellect, how can you go to the court or the police or to your neighbor that, okay, you have stolen my property? If you have not got the right for it, you have not protected it. So anybody can copy. If you don't take the right, anybody can copy your property which you have generated with your intellect. So the protection of intellectual property is important. Now, okay, I got it. I've known what type of intellectual property I've generated, how to protect. Geeta ma'am has told. Now, when to file for the protection? So when to file for the protection? Before, two aspects: before commercialization, because as already discussed, that intellectual property is for the business. It is a business strategy. So before commercialization or after commercialization. So mainly there are four types of intellectual properties: patents, trademarks, copyrights, and industrial designs. For patents and industrial designs, novelty is a very major aspect, major criteria to get the grant of those patents in industrial designs. What is novelty? As Geeta ma'am has already discussed, that nobody, it should not be disclosed in the public. It should not be in the public domain globally before filing for the patents or the industrial design. So it means before commercialization or even before disclosing it to anybody, you must go and file the patents in industrial design. Trademarks and copyrights can be applied for after the commercialization or after you have disclosed it to the somebody. Now the patents, when you file, the moment you file a patent, you get a patent pending status for your invention, and this patent pending status also gives you some benefits. Granted patents gives you benefits, so to exclude anybody to make, sell, and import invention, but the pending patent also gives you some benefits, like gives a competitive advantage, marketing, investing, and acquisition benefits. So you have to see that if you have generated the patent or industrial design, you have to commercialize it before the you have come up with the patent or industrial design. You have to file for the commercialization. Okay, everything has been decided. Now how to proceed? The very first step, you have to find that your trademark, your patent, or industrial design is novel, whether you're not infringing, whether you're infringing somebody's IP or not. So you must search, you must go to the professional, you can do yourself for the search. So search is a very important aspect. Before proceeding for anything, you should search that whether you are infringing somebody's IP or not. And what is this? The patent search is of many types, but majorly it is, like we suggest, it is for search for the novelty and search for the patentive, that is patentability search, that whether your invention is patentable under Indian Patent Act and whether it has been disclosed earlier in the world or in India. If it is not disclosed in the world, it is patentable. Plus, there is another type of search, that is freedom to operate search. You can go to a professional and ask him to do the freedom to operate search. You want to commercialize your invention, you should go to the professional and ask for freedom to operate. Freedom to operate is that it searches all the patents which are pending or which have been published, and it clearly tells you that you are not infringing or whether you are infringing somebody's patent. Similarly, for the trademark, there is also a search is done. It is done in IP India site. Trademark Registry has a site, and it is of three types. It can be a word mark search, Vienna code search, and phonetic search. It can be done by yourself in IP India, or you can go to a professional. So this is search. Now, second step is analysis. You have come to a point, you have been told that, okay, maybe you are infringing somebody's trademark. You should stop there. You should change your brand name and search it again. And if you are told that you are infringing somebody's patent, then you must see that how much part is overlapping, whether whole of the invention is same or there is some aspect which is overlapping. So if only some part is overlapping, you can change your invention accordingly so that you are not infringing somebody's patent. Let's take one example. You can see types of phones. If you say that on the first case, there's a telephone, where first ever wireless telephone, then there's evolution of telephones. If one considers that, okay, there's already a wireless telephone, if I devise another one, this will be infringement. No, you can always come up with the other idea, though it is a wireless phone, but yes, it has some different technology, it has different shape to it, it has different yes, it has some technology attached to it. You can always come up with different ideas. You can devise your invention. You can around the infringing patent so that you do not infringe on you do not infringe somebody's patent, and you also get to keep your invention. So this is how these things are done. Similarly, you can see there are different types of designs of jewelry. All are different, though they are all similar also, and they are different. So you have to come with the different ideas. Similarly, with the shape of the bottle, if bottle is there, you can come up with the different shapes of the bottle, and you can get a industrial design to your name. There is analysis. If okay, your patent is infringing something, there is another aspect to it, that is licensing and agreement. You want assignment, you want a trademark or patent to your name, but it is not yours, it has been registered to somebody's name. You can go to that person or that company and ask them to give you the license of using that particular invention or that particular trademark. So this is how you can start with the business. So this is licensing and assignment, which we'll be discussing later on. Once the search and analysis is over and you are ready to file the patent, there will be drafting and filing of the patent or industrial design or trademark. Then there will be the prosecution. Prosecution is the IP office, IP India office gives the exam reports, and you have to submit. If there is any objection, you have to submit reply in a given time frame, and you have to get your patent trademark cleared off all the objections, and it will lead to the registration or the grant. But in case your patent or trademark is not registered, the IP India refuses due to some reasons, and you are not happy with their decision, you can go to the court and challenge the decision of the office, IP or India office, and there will be the litigation. And if you get your trademark, patent, or industrial design patent grant registered to your name, you have to then do the renewals. Trademarks are renewed after every 10 years. Patents cannot be renewed, but you have to pay the maintenance fee every year for 20 years. Industrial designs are renewed, they are registered for 10 years, and they can be renewed for 5 years. And copyright is for lifetime, as Geeta ma'am has already told. So this is how the steps you need to proceed with. Now, once the IP is registered to your name, now you have to enforce your IP. What does this enforcement means? That you should check that whether somebody is infringing your IP or not. If somebody is infringing your IP, you need to tell him that this is my exclusive right and you are infringing it, and you have to stop doing this. And how can you do this? There are two ways broadly. You have to send the legal notice, that is cease and desist notice, that okay, stop here, you are infringing my IP, my rights, and you need not to do it. If the company or the person does not stop there, you can go to the court and ask for the remedy. There can be injunctions or other remedies can be sought from the court as per the law. Then one is you have to enforce your IP. Then second is you have to generate the revenue, that is it is associated with the business model. So the major concern is revenue generation. You can market it, you can commercialize it, and you can start selling the product. If it is a patent or trademark, you can start using it and earn revenue. If you do not want to earn the revenue from your IP, you can license it or assign it. What does this licensing means? Licensing means it is like renting your IP, that you have a patent, you have a product, and you can give it to somebody to use it for a fixed period of time in exchange of some monetary exchange. In exchange of some monetary advantage, it can be a lump sum money, that okay, for 10 years you give me this much of amount and you can use it for 10 years, or it can be a royalty that you will be sharing this, say 10% of profit with me for the next 10 years. Or assignment is you are selling your IP to that particular person or company, that okay, this is for yours forever. Then another one is agreements. Now agreements, they are written agreements must be there. If you have established a company, there must be a clear written records about the ownership rights. There must be written contracts with the employees. There must be written agreements between the licensor, or if you're assigning somebody, there must be, everything should be on the record and should be in the form of the agreements to avoid any legal hassles in the future. So this is how the IP must be managed. It should be from the search to the enforcement. Now, while enforcing or while marketing the IP, there is one major thing which we come across, that don't let your IP be used. Like I read the statement, if a trademark is misused, it could come undone. Like we say, we have to photocopy a page. We don't say get it photocopied, we say Xerox kar lo. So Xerox is not a noun. It's not a word. It's not a dictionary word. It's a trademark of a company. But now, because it has been misused or it has been overused, that it has become a generic word. It is no more a trademark. It has lost its value. So it has become a noun. So one must take care that while enforcing or while marketing or while using it, it should not be overused or misused. Let's take some more examples. वैसे तो हम household में we for a vegetable oil we call dalda. Let's take dalda. So dalda is a brand name. It's not a generic name. Similarly, chapstick, for the chapstick we say chapstick. Chapstick is not a generic name. It's a trademark. R is written for every, like there's an injury in a finger, we say banded laga lo. Banded is not a noun. It's not a normal name. It's a trade name. But they have become a generic name. They have lost their value due to the overuse. Similarly, the Tupperware and all these names. So one must keep these things in mind while managing the IP. So these are the takeaways from this lecture, that one must remember these points, that always check trademark databases to avoid using an existing trademark and protect trademarks before launching a new product or service with a new brand name. Identify patentable subject matter and make sure it is patented early enough to avoid losing the invention to competitors. Make sure that patentable inventions are not shared with others or published before filing a patent application. For export-oriented firms, for export-oriented firms, make sure IP is protected in all potential export markets. When conducting joint research with other enterprises or research institutes, make sure that there is sufficient clarity on who will own potential IP generated from the research project. This is very important for institutions, universities, and organizations. Monitor the market and make sure that your IP assets are not being infringed. And if you're unsure that how to best protect your company's intangible assets, conduct an IP audit. So with this, I finish my lecture. Over to you, Mahajanji.
Thank you very much, Shwetaji. It was really insightful. There's something that you take away every time that we listen to you. So this time it's the freedom to operate search, the infringement search, state of art search, validity search, and patentability search. So, it might sound too much for the students when they hear it for the first time, but please do understand that vis-a-vis China and India, the amount of patents that China files and that we file, at the very beginning of this session, Professor R.K. Mittal did bring this up, that we are lagging behind. We only do about 40,000 patents a year. So that is too less for a country the size of India and the intellectual, the intellectual database that we have, and the amount of research that is being done. Unfortunately, that is not being translated into commercial benefits because we've not been able to protect our rights. And that is one reason that India has always been on the back foot. Like, there were in fact ways when we used to patent, there have been attempts to patent haldi overseas, and there have also been attempts to patent, for example, tulsi and products from tulsi, whereas we have been using it for so many years. So the concepts in our Indian society has never been to protect, it has always been to share. But time has come that we need to change that, because the world is changing that way, and we need to protect ourselves. If there are any questions, we could take them at this stage. Students could either give a raise of hands or write them in there. We could take them. If there are any raise of hands.
Sir, there have been certain questions which are coming, but I understand they are not per se very relevant to this platform, because they are actually project specific. That is, somebody wants to get into pharmaceuticals, what kind of patents do they require to file? So they are open-ended questions. We would be able to take that academically besides, but I understand much of clarification has already been there from our two noted eminent panelists, sir. So please continue, Ajay sir.
So, all right. Right. So if there are no more questions, may I please request Dr. Ritesh Gupta to give his vote of thanks. Dr. Ritesh Gupta is a consultant, and he's also the man in charge for the Aryabhatta Incubation Center at the Chaudhry Bansilal University, Bhiwani. Would you please propose a vote of thanks, Dr. Ritesh?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Ritesh?
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Sir, this indeed has been I'll call it an hand-holding session. There has been a lot, as a teacher, there has been many number of things which we teach to the students. But on the contrary, when somebody from the live industry, when somebody from the institution, which actually we call it as an industry, which we call it in the university as industry institutional interface or an interaction, that actually helps students suffice or justify what we typically say to the students. So that makes a lot of worthy assertions when industry renowned professionals like the ones we have on this platform, with Madam Advocate Geeta Gulati coming first, and thereafter being aptly supported by Dr. Shweta Sen Dhalwal. So these things means a lot to our students and help us enable the wider perspective of how to enrich IPRs and how to make it an integral part of our curricula. So in terms of incubation, yes, we represent Bhiwani. Bhiwani district is one of the districts in Haryana, which is actually coming from an neighborhood of Rajasthan, Loharu, Mahendragarh kind of belts, which are actually considered to be a weak point of Haryana in terms of economic contribution to the overall GDP of the state. The people over here are a little more agricultural centric. The technology percolation is comparatively low. So what students are looking over here is where they can commit into an agricultural kind of support mechanisms. These are enablers to us. And I understand in the changing economic scenarios, wherein the students have an access to these kind of changes which are affecting our economy and their businesses thereon. So incubation center has been established in this university. This university is again established in 2014 and is creating certain kind of ripples across the industry for getting more industry centric. So such sessions will definitely turn to be an enabler and take the things forward. When I talk about the contributions, Sanjeev Chawla sir's contributions were much noteworthy, when we were able to understand what kind of economic support, what kind of infrastructural setup in the state has been offered to our students, which can further turn up to become startups or entrepreneurs or budding startups in the times to come. The kind of support he has extended in terms of detailing or the help extended from his Karnal office, from thereafter his Panchkula office, and thereafter new district industrial centers are being established in the state. And that is really noteworthy knowing about it. When we talk about Madam Geeta Gulati's contribution, that was really nice when we talked about how IPRs are going to be a mainstay in Indian economic forefront, how they are going to contribute towards making India an Atmanirbhar Bharat and other schemes which had been promoted. Now, the process of filing the IPR research application, how to go about it, how much time frames are required, these things, obviously my students will feel much supported and much convinced that yes, there is a support mechanism which is helping them. It's not like we are fighting the entire world. There is a complete setup, especially from PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the mechanism you have supported us. We would like to culminate this in formation of an MOU down the line, wherein we can facilitate our students, get their ideas, IPRs registered, and take it forward to the next level. In terms of Madam Shweta's inputs, I would like to clarify that yes, her insights were too much explicit, but on the terms, besides addressing to the students, she has touched the important part of research publications also, which indeed is going to help us professional turned academicians like me into career progression, wherein we are much aware of how to protect our copyrights and our research content in this field. So I take this opportunity to thank you all with folded hands that this kind of session has been one of the first which we have started, and this interaction with PhD Chamber of Commerce Industry is going to unfold new turns, and the association with Chaudhary Bansilal University will result into a much more stronger business relationships on one part, but besides being culminated as a successful patents and trademarks registration or IPR registrations for our students, and help them protect their rights when they turn to be entrepreneurs down the line. So I, with folded hands, I take this opportunity to thank you all eminent dignitaries who have carved out time to participate and handheld our students and this university. And I use this opportunity also to, on the behalf of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. R.K. Mittalji, and yes, with folded hands, I stand grateful, and I look forward for such kind of association with you soon, sir. Thank you so much once again to all the participants.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ritesh. I'll be failing in my duty if I don't thank Ramit ji. Thank you very
Sir,
much.
before thanking me, I just wanted to show 2 slides of IPSC. So you will have a better view of what the IPFC is offering. So I'm just sharing.
Yes.
So we have set up ITFC. This is Intellectual Property Facilitation Center at Amritsar and Chandigarh. So we are offering, services for the IP registration, trademarks, patents, designs, copyrights. So you can get in touch with us, as you have mentioned that you would like to move forward with signing of IP or MOU. We'll be happy to sign with you. And we have also mentioned the coordinates and of our Amritsar and Chandigarh office. So if any student, faculty member is interested in filing IP registrations, you can get in touch with us. And we are also organizing Guruvar IPR. This is IPR consultation, which we organize every Thursday, every month. So if there is any particular query related to IPR, that also we can, solve the same. And the timings for the same is 10 to 4:30. You can book your half-an-hour slot and you can get in touch with our IP attorneys, Advocate Geeta Gulati and Dr. Shweta Sen. I just wanted to share this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramiji. I think we can end this session now. Is that all right?
Yes, sir, we can.
Jai Hind, everyone. Jai Hind.
Ma'am, I have taken these screenshots and I'll be sharing this.
Yeah, so we can send you the presentation. You can circulate across your students and faculty members so they can get in touch with us. There are number mention of both the IPFC and Mr. Sumit also here. He's at Amritsar and I'm at Chandigarh. So we are here to fulfill all IPR queries. And our IP attorneys, you have listened them, and with the expert advice and suggestions, you can move ahead with your with protecting of your IP property. Right? So thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.